bet you any money that Charles is this nigga's father, bro.
Fine. Sacrifice. Don't you talk to me about sacrifice, Charles. I had to send my son back to the island, knowing full well that...
That's my son too, Eloise.
Just cut his dick off. That's what I would have done. Shit, if I was Norman...
Tu sei una carteggiani?
Se volete ricerà così.
Io pensavo che mio figlio se ne fotteva. Federico prima. Tu sei più buono col gioco mio.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to some more Mad Men Season 3. Man, this has been a journey. It's been an incredible amount of things that I had to say. I know some people might be out there. You might be thinking, what is this guy thinking? Why is he saying these things? Why is he going a little bit too in depth about these issues? A lot of times I see comments on my channel, right? I see comments and I respond to those comments because a lot of times it's a situation where they don't understand, and maybe I didn't articulate myself well enough that they can understand what I was trying to say, or people take things a little bit too personally because it's not what they experience. And when I state certain things, it's not about being anecdotal, it's about being factual. Okay, I'm talking to the majority here. I'm talking to the majority, and I'm also, for the most part, talking about the Western world that I live in, and from what studies I've talked about. Okay, and I'm not sitting here, you know, hating on women and all of this other stuff and saying this and that about them and all this other stuff. People understand that I'm not only am I analyzing these characters and seeing certain traits, and I told you guys, Don, I don't like how he moves. I understand the situation of how he moves, but I don't like how he moves. I don't like how he moves. But also, when the other parties, the women in the show, does stuff, I'm gonna call them out just as much. Right? I'm gonna call them out. If Peggy's doing, listen, I'm all for women advancing their careers. I have nothing against that. Advance your career as much as you want, but understand that all of these actions have consequences, right? I have never met, in my life, I have never met, and maybe you guys have, and I've had women bosses before, and I talked about this, I think it was back in season 1, when Peggy was moving up, right? When she was moving up, and I said she's developing those, she's acting like the boys. But also, when you hear and see the locker room talk and stuff like that in the workplace that men usually have, you can't now deem it inappropriate just because you are there now. That's where you are. You're in this masculine environment. That's how we roll, right? So people think I'm attacking people, or I'm trying to offend women, or I hate women, or people want to say I'm a misogynist and all this other stuff. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm just stating facts. I don't hate women. I got my girl here. I believe a lot of the traits that we have to do with our biological makeup, but hey, everybody's entitled to their opinion. You know, it is what it is. Anyways, if you guys want to see more episodes of Mad Men, man, make sure you check out the Patreon. Sign up. Lots of people over there watching Mad Men and Lost as well. I'm planning to upload a lot more new stuff in you know, once all of this that I'm doing right now with Gamora and all of that is once we're through with those, and also the anime that's going on the channel right now. Once we're through with those, once those take a break, I'm planning to add a lot more stuff to Patreon, a lot more new shows, because a lot of stuff is finishing up. The Walking Dead is finished. House of the Dragon Probably not gonna come back until like 2024 and stuff like that. So I'm planning to add some stuff to the Patreon as well. So let's jump into the next episode, and I will see you guys at the end for the review.
Thank you, Hillary.
I'd love it if you could do the twist one more time.
Harry, you are not in this process. You're a spectator. Don't forget it.
Bacardi's coming in on Tuesday to see if Daiquiri Beach has legs. We should probably have the whole team.
This weekend? No.
I'm sorry, but we just heard about it. Bullshit.
I have plans. I really do.
Well, I would love to work all weekend, but I'm just a spectator.
Whose crack did it fall through? Because you are going to spend the weekend being our slave.
The good news is we're going to be out of your hair. Jane and Roger Sterling's garden party on the island.
Derby day.
You're all going?
Well, I really wish I wasn't.
Well, then don't. Give me your glasses. I'll go with you.
Sorry about that.
They're walking through here like she a big shot now. Look at her.
My goodness, I didn't expect to see you here.
For a little while longer.
Lovely to see you, Jane. I just stopped by. Roger had my rings resized. I keep losing weight. Where are you living now?
Same old place, but we're looking. We're thinking about Riverdale.
That is so great to see you.
Is it though?
Likewise. Oh, Joan, I have a tiny favor to ask you. They're doing construction in front of the building, and my driver's going to be circling, so if you could have one of the girls run down at 1:15 and flag him down.
She played her cards right. Got an older man with money.
Olive, from now on, there's no need to include Mr. Crane in the casting.
Of course. And I brought you tea and coffee.
I left for an hour to go get nylons for tomorrow, and look what happened. Carlos said he thought he was on KP duty.
It's Roger and Jane.
I want to go. How about a dress?
The
I
warmth
love how
of
they
the
just
climate
drink liquor willy-nilly back in the
disposed
day when they're
natives
pregnant.
to
bro.
most intemperate. Grandpa?
I'm indisposed.
You're stealing from your grandpa? That's not gonna go over well.
No. Edinger goes at the head of the table. He's a chief of surgery. It's where he always sits.
Not in your home, Greg. Host at the head, hostess at the foot, or whichever's nearest to the kitchen. And then it's boy, girl, boy, girl.
Who says?
Emily Post. Everyone.
He's going to expect to sit there, and he's going to expect me and Rick Stolik to be his footstools.
A buffet would be slightly more casual, and people could sit where they will.
Yes, I have something to say about this because, first of all, in your own home, you sit at the head of the table. Period, point blank. She's right. Like, ain't no arguments here. Ain't no arguments here. You don't come to my house and sit at the head of my table. I could give two shits who you are. You're my boss at work, not my boss at home. You're at my home. So if you come into my home to have dinner with me, you can sit at, wherever else. Well, you don't sit at the head of my table. Period. So she's right. Etiquette, proper etiquette. Yeah.
We could put the chafing dish that they gave us right in the middle.
Still not a fan of them pointy braziers.
Daddy, what are you talking about?
I had $35. Now I have 30.
Are you sure?
Mr. Hofstad, why don't you go sit down and we'll all look for it?
You look for it, will you?
Daddy, you know how forgetful you are.
I'm missing $5.
Here, Jane, here you go.
Oh, I don't want your money. You people. You think money's the answer to every problem.
No, just this particular problem.
Daddy, I'm sorry. I don't know what you want.
I want my $5.
He's giving you your $5.
Nice to see you both. Is
missed something.
Betty, you remember Trudy?
Harry Crane, my wife Jennifer.
Ken Cosgrove, we've met.
How old is yours? 8 months. Beatrice Grace.
Should we take a tour?
It's awkward for
My girlfriend
Pete
looks just
and
like this.
Now you're getting ridiculous.
Maybe it fell out of your pocket.
It didn't.
Well, I didn't take it.
I didn't say you did.
Not yet.
Will you stop it, Viola?
My name's not Viola. It's Carla.
You know Viola?
We don't all know each other, Mr. Hofstad.
He's suspecting her. I hope he doesn't do anything if he finds out that it's her, like... Suppose he whoops her, bro. Pull the belt out. Whoop-ha! It's gonna be a problem. Don gonna have a serious problem with that if that's what's gonna happen in this episode, bro.
The sun shines bright.
Is this how you consider dark blackface? I mean, I'm not offended. don't get it wrong. I'm just asking because I know the history behind blackface, but I'm wondering what was. I bet you when was this episode aired? This was maybe 2010, maybe. I think so. So the situation is it's weird to see this in a TV show because you could never put this in a TV show today. Like you can't. Right? So it's just kind of weird that they doing something like this. But you know, but this was way before all this woke foolishness started.
Birds make music all on the
I don't know if this is blackface or he's acting like somebody else. Or is this something
What about
else?
the horse race? What about supper?
Can I get an old-fashioned?
We're on the same mission. There's a hole at the end here.
I don't have a lot of time.
Nice piece of property, though. Who are you hiding from?
I am at work, disguised as a party.
When I was a boy, there was a mansion on the river I used to paddle by in my John boat. It's different inside.
Where you from?
San Antonio, New Mexico. Before it was a state. Don't ask me that. Old. I'm Republican, like everyone else in there. But somehow, no matter how expensive my cufflinks, I feel like I've got the head of a jackass. Pleasure to meet you, Don. Hell of a cocktail.
I wish you were waiting for me. What is that like?
I don't know. I don't think about it. Right now, it's uncomfortable mostly.
I'm going to blame this on martinis, but... May I?
You guys ever felt a baby kick? I don't know, why is it such a surreal experience? You know what I'm saying?
You can't show up to these things stag. But then you run into people.
Ooh, martinis.
Please, don't stand on ceremony. Dig in.
I'll cut the cheese. What were you giggling about the other day? A code pink.
What's that?
They put a call over the PA whenever there's an attractive, unconscious female.
Never heard of that.
Sounds like where I work. Oh, I'm gonna check the roast.
You need a hand?
I don't think so.
Nonsense.
You must do well. It's not easy. Not that I'm complaining.
You think they make no money now? You should have seen back when Ronald and I were first married. I taught kindergarten and made 3 times what Ron did. Just don't get pregnant.
Excuse me?
The last thing you want right now is a child. I told her the same thing. She doesn't listen. She's a nurse.
You do what you want. If Greg becomes chief resident, then things will get easier.
Makes me feel good about his future, no matter what happens.
Ah, Sam, do they work together or they're related?
Sally, supper time!
I told you I'm not hungry. I want my money.
You don't even know that you lost it. Maybe you should lie down.
Sally.
Grandpa, is this it? Grandpa, is this your money?
I don't know. Let me see it.
I really think the money just fell on the floor there this whole time. Everybody just been walking past it this whole time, Sally. Kids really think adults are idiots, bro. I swear to God.
Well, that's a relief. Sally, your food's getting cold.
Well. At least that's as far as it goes,
Well,
thank God.
you. Haven't seen you two on the dance floor.
Oh, I don't move that well right now. Don loves to dance.
Your asses are going to wear out those chairs.
Roger.
Don, Betty, this is Henry Francis and
Sherry Ardmore.
Henry works in the governor's office.
Don Draper. This is my wife, Betty.
We're going to dance. Betty, Don, I'm sure you're not up for it.
What is that dance, bro? What the fuck is this? What is that, bro? Just decided I'm gonna do that at the next party.
Honey, would you talk to your husband? I don't know what I'm going to do next year.
He's gonna be a tough act to follow.
Great hands.
I have no hands.
Look, Greg, it's a complicated operation.
Oh, Christ, that's not what I meant.
It happens.
What happened?
Did he
Come
botch
on.
a
Everyone
surgery?
gets a bad result every once in a while.
You know what? Enough shot.
Well, Joni has many, many talents. You should play for them.
No,
Come on, I'll go get it.
I am out of practice.
Come on, Joni.
The accordion?
Come on, just sing a little something.
You also should never. I don't think that's her singing. Guys, husbands out there, never use your wife as a prop. Okay? Never use your wife as a prop, especially for entertainment. At least don't in front of company. If you suggest something and your wife says no, she doesn't want to do it, don't let her do it. Don't force it on her. Don't in any way. Like, I don't like this scenario because it never turns out well. Let's just say that. Even if the guests are entertained by what happens, just don't do it. It's you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's disrespectful. Let's just put it like that, because that's what it is. It's disrespectful. Just don't do something like that. You put your wife in an uncomfortable situation where she's not comfortable. I mean, what if she wasn't good at it, or was really good at it, and you're like insisting on her doing it? You know, it's just, even if they are entertained, even if the guests are entertained or whatever, and everybody's laughing about it, trust me, you're gonna hear about it later. And sometimes she might not even say anything, and that's the crazy thing about it too. She might not even say anything, and she might keep that shit in the bank. And you know what the funny thing is? This is probably something that she reserves for just him. Drunk.
I guess we're the last ones to eat. That's what my mother always said. Family holds back.
Are you okay?
Oh.
You should sit
What's
down.
going on?
Okay. Oh my God. You're pregnant.
Yeah.
You're so beautiful. Thank you. Don't you just love looking at her? I never had any doubt, no matter what the problem was.
I'll take care of her.
That's embarrassing. Bitch, get
I'm a
your
nice
hands
person.
off of me.
What's going on here?
I should have eaten something.
What the hell was that? Your wife's drunk. I don't know what I did to get under your skin. You know, my mother was right. It's a mistake to be conspicuously happy. Some people don't like it.
Oh, so it's
No one
Don's
thinks you're
fault?
happy. They think you're foolish. You can come here and be happy, and you get to choose your guests.
I thought that would be that of this scene. I don't want this to go any
Good night,
further.
Grandpa.
Get in here.
Oh God. Oh Lord.
Where were we?
At the end of the day, she did the right thing by giving it back, but
The rustic manners of a prince who disdains such.
this episode was kind of mellow. Nothing major happened. Kind of some other character traits that came out that was like, all right, I see you. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, this party that was going on, some things almost came out. You know what I'm saying? I understand the relationship between Roger and Don is not at the best. It's not at its best right now. And furthermore, you know what I'm saying? Roger, you should not be giving Don any lip about anything. It's like, what's going on about this situation? You got to understand that there is a stigma behind it. You know what I'm saying? Older men with younger women. Now I think nowadays it's still there. The stigma is still there, but at the same time, it's like nobody really bats an eye at it, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you see like a 60-year-old man with a 20-year-old, nobody's really gonna have a problem with it. You get what I'm saying? But you still have those people out there that might think that the age gap is too much. So it's, you know what I'm saying? You gotta understand that, you know, the situation that you're in. But I understand also where Roger is coming from. It is like, dude, we're friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the very least, you should be happy for me. You know what I mean? So I understand where he's coming from that perspective, of course. Also the situation with Peggy, she's high. She doesn't know what she's, you know what I'm saying? Telling this lady, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, don't worry, I'm going to achieve everything that you want me to achieve. You know what I mean? I think the lady was just trying to give her some advice, you know what I mean? And she you know, saying that, oh, you don't have to worry about me, and that you get a little big at it. I get it. Maybe I'm wrong of my assessment of that scene. I don't know if you guys interpreted that a little different. Of course, you know what I'm saying, please put it in the comment section. You know, if you interpret that a little bit differently than I do. So of course, the Smoking Weed, they trying to come up with the idea ad campaign for Bacardi. So as I said, not much really happened in this episode other than what was going on at the party and at Don's house as well with the grandpa. In that situation, you know, most parents, I would say, handle that situation extremely poorly. Especially with an older guy like that, more than likely, that older guy. But also, there's also the situation with grandparents as well. Grandparents usually are a little bit more calmer towards their grandkids. They, you know what I'm saying? I got a whoopings from my grandfather, you know, one of them. The other one I didn't really meet. He died when I was really young. So my mom's father, you know, we used to go to his house and spend time, and you know, I used to view that stuff as punishment, to be honest. I used to view it as punishment because it was like, whenever our mom would send us there for like a weekend or whatever the situation is, it was always too much to do. You know what I'm saying? It was almost too much. It was almost too much to do. It was never about just spending time there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just felt like punishment. It felt like, because it was lesser living. You know what I'm saying? It was lesser living because our house was a lot more modern. We went to see our grandfather. He was, you know what I'm saying, they still had a latrine outside. You know what I'm saying? You know, it was not great, okay? We had modern toilets and everything at my house. And when we went to our grandfather's house, we had to literally go to the outhouse, if you will. You gotta go to the latrine to do, you know what I mean? You just pee anywhere, I guess. So it's like later on that they got, you know, a toilet there at the house, like later on. But when we were kids and we went there, man, we viewed that stuff as, you know, at least I viewed it as punishment. I don't know about my other siblings when we went there, how they view their stuff. And it's funny sometimes when I really reminisce on how things used to be. And my grandfather did not put up he did not put up with it with anything, but he always, one thing I knew about him was that he loved us. He loved us. So he disciplined us just as much as he cared. You know what I'm saying? Like, he would do stuff, you know what I mean? And I'm talking about, at that time, he was old. He was like, I want to say he was about maybe like in his 60s and stuff like that. And he would still like get up like really early in the morning and go to work and stuff like that. So it was just a fun, good time. When you actually look back at that stuff when you're an adult, man, it means a little bit, a lot more. You know what I'm saying? Because as I said, as a kid, I viewed it as punishment, because I never, like, now I can look back at it and I can say, man, those were some actually fun times, because we did some fun stuff. We snuck out, go to the river and stuff like that. I remember one time I almost drowned. I don't think my mom knows that. Like, I almost drowned sneaking out of the house when we were sent there, because the river was like literally like right across the street. It wasn't far. So if you guys have ever heard of the Rio Grande in Jamaica, it's the longest river in the country, right? And the access to it was like right there across the street from where my grandfather lived. So it was like we snuck away. We weren't allowed to go, but we would go because we had, you know, neighbors that was there. We knew them, and they were practically family. They would come over to the house and blah blah. We go over to their house, whatever the situation is. We snuck out, go to the river, almost drowned. It's crazy time. So I say this to say that I like how he handled it, because I really thought that he was gonna like put hands on Sally and then things are gonna erupt between him and Don. I thought that's what's gonna happen, but I'm glad that he handled it that way. Not even pressed her about it. She returned the money, and obviously she knew she did something wrong, so there was no need to address it. because she realized it. So you know what I'm saying? This man did not come off racist in this episode. Okay, he did not. I'm not gonna lie though, I thought it was gonna go there. I really did. I thought he was gonna go there. I thought he was going to say something, but her already assuming that this man is going to accuse her of stealing the money was an hilarious scene. Because to be honest guys, you know, in situations like those, a lot of times black people do get accused of doing things. I can't tell the amount of times that I've gone into stores, you know, and I'm being followed. Now you can chalk that up to, you know, maybe it's not because I'm black, maybe it's because, I don't know, whatever reasons you want to give, but you do get stereotyped into certain things as a, you know, as a black individual, right? You do get stereotyped. That's not to say that intrinsically I believe that, you know, all white people are racist or some shit like that, but you know, you do get stereotyped into certain things, just like other people that I stereotype as well. I'm taking personal responsibility over that, because there are some things, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, say for instance the whole Home Depot situation, like you get stereotyped. Not me, like, you know, Latinos, right? They get stereotyped into that, man, because you really don't see no other ethnicities, you know what I'm saying, at a Home Depot looking for work and stuff like that. You really don't see. It's always, you know, young Latino men you see there doing it. I don't know, I'm not gonna say, you know what I'm saying, they're all Mexicans or some shit like that. Like when I hear people say it's all Mexicans, I'm just like, bro, what? That don't make any sense. Like, they're not all Mexicans. It's just a Latino thing. Cuban, they could be Mexican, they could be all these other, you know, Latino countries they could be coming from. I've seen Brazilians out there, you know what I'm saying? So it's you can get stereotyped into stuff like that because, and it's accurate. You get what I'm saying? It's accurate stereotypes. But also, I think it's very wrong when it comes down to certain things that black people get stereotyped into, because it's inaccurate. It's kind of like with Jamaicans and me. I do not like the fact that people, as soon as people hear, whether they hear about Jamaican music, whether they just want to talk to you, just have a regular conversation with you, they're automatically assuming that you smoke weed. I hate that narrative. I hate that stereotype, I should say. I hate that stereotype that's attached to us as Jamaicans. I hate it. I don't like it, because it's like once people hear your accent, I know you don't really hear my accent. Like, you have to be around me for a very long time to really hear my accent. Sometimes it will come out in the way how I pronounce certain words, but for the most part, my accent is not really there anymore, especially when I'm speaking properly. So it's like people can't really tell unless I tell them that I'm actually Jamaican. So it's a weird situation. But either way, man, great episode. As I said, the whole situation at the house with Joan and, you know, her husband don't do that, guys. Don't do that. And you know, already with the stuff that has happened between them, and you know, you can tell that in some ways they're not really happy with each other. You know what I'm saying? It's a tough one. It's a tough one to analyze, to say the least. But this show is really awesome. It's really awesome. It's a really good show. So yeah, man, leave a like, leave a comment. That's all I have to say about this episode. Gave you guys some good backstory of myself as well. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys for the next one, man. Peace.